Hi everybody, it's me, Dirty Lola. I'm SHAG's resident sex educator, and today we are talking about squirting because it's April, and what have we heard? April showers brings May flowers. We're going to talk about squirting. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks and how to like prep yourself in order to achieve if you'd like to, and talk about some products that could help you along the way. So just out the gate, everybody has the ability to squirt. Squirting is not like it is in the porn. In porn, when you watch porn, it's like spurting out. It's like a fountain. While there might be some folks who squirt that way, for a lot of folks, squirting could be dribs and drabs. It could be gushes. You won't even feel it until you get up and you see a big puddle. So a lot of us might already be squirting. I say I'm a babbling brook. Like it's not like a whole squirting spectacular, but there are times when I've made a puddled mess. So you may already be squirting and not realizing it because it is a liquid that is released when you are stimulating the Skene's gland, the muscle around the Skene's gland, which is like erectile tissue that's near the urethra. Which is, you can reach that via the G-spot, which is the little spongy inner area about your first knuckle, and it's also the portal to the inner clitoris. So there's so much happening there why you can achieve orgasm that way, but also stimulating that area can lead to squirting. It's also important to know that squirting can happen without having an orgasm. So there are so many folks who might experience that squirting feeling or even find that they're squirting and they're not having an orgasm. While they can happen together, and for many they do, they also can happen independently. I mean, this is the same as where you have folks with penises who can ejaculate and not have an orgasm, especially when they're doing prostate massage. You can have ejaculation without an actual orgasm. So for those of you with vulvas who are like thinking about trying this, there's a difference between aiming to squirt and having a G-spot orgasm. While they might come together, you may have a G-spot orgasm without the squirting. And you might find that you're very squirty without actually having the orgasm. Like the squirtiness might lead up to the orgasm. So what do you need to do to prep yourself and prep your space for practicing squirting or practicing getting to squirting or wanting to experiencing that? Hydration is number one. We talk about water all the time and how important it is to drink your water. It's no different when it comes to sex things. So when you are experiencing dryness and you maybe feel like you're not getting wet enough, I'm not saying this is going to 100% fix that problem, but if you're dehydrated, your lady's going to be dehydrated. Your little friend downstairs is going to be dehydrated. Where do you think your body is going to pull that liquid if you're not giving that liquid to your body? So keeping hydrated, especially when we're trying to do these activities, is helpful, especially as we age. Almost 43, and we're getting up there. And so keeping our cells and our skin and our mucous membranes nice and juicy by hydrating ourselves is super important when it comes to sex. You also want to make sure you have a good lube because you're going to be using a lot of pressure when you're trying to create squirt or just stimulate your G-spot for G-spot orgasm. So having a good cushy lube, if you're using any kind of silicone toy product, you want to use a water-based lube. But if you're just using your fingers or metal toys, which I'll show you later, you can use a silicone lube. I love any kind of gel lube, so any of the water-based lubes that say that they're a gel. Sometimes they'll be labeled toy lube because they're really thick and they stay in place. So when you squirt them out, can you get me the Swiss? I'm going to show you the Swiss Navy that we have in stock. No, the gel one, the black one. The black and red next to it. Picked up everyone. My assistant, everyone. So this is a gel lube we have. It's labeled for anal, but it's just a water-based lube and it's super thick. Look at that. It's like, it's just a nice plump. But I like this because it's cushy. You're going to be able to apply pressure and it's going to make it more comfortable. And you want to make sure while you're trying to work on your wetness that you're not creating too much friction or you're not getting any drag from your fingers or the toy that you're using, because that's going to become uncomfortable. For you extra juicy folks, that may not be a thing that you feel is necessary, but some of us might need a little help. And even for juicy folks, I always say, like, your natural wetness, the viscosity isn't as thick as what you would find in a lube. So maybe you could use a little lube. Natural wetness refurbishes lube. It like reinvigorates water-based lubes. So just a little help. It's okay for us to rely on helpers. It's why they're here. So you want to make sure you have those. And then you want to set your space up. So having chucks, which are like, AKA puppy pads. What's another name? They're just like, they're either weeby pads. They look like weeby pads. You can find them in the pharmacy in like the health section. They're basically for people who are incontinent, but they are a disposable way of kind of protecting your space from a lot of moisture. This is if you can't, don't have the funds to get a sex blanket. There's so many. Liberator is one of the brands. I think there's so many brands besides Liberator. If you type in sex blanket, so many come up now. They all have different attributes. They're usually like, you can get bed size, you can get ones that are just small and square and more portable. Look for something that is going to be able to absorb it. Towels, depending on how juicy you are, may not do the trick. If you're somebody who's just like not about that life of having to strip your bed after sex, make sure you either have like the chucks that you can buy in any drugstore or get yourself a sex blanket. In the meantime, if you don't have a sex blanket, you can go out to the Duane Reade right now or wherever you are. Duane Reade isn't everywhere. Whatever state you're in, go to your drugstore and ask them for, chucks, or I don't know, what's the other medical name for them? I don't know. They're like pads for your bed. So those are things that you have. One, to protect your bed. Two, because if you're not worried about your bed getting wet, you'll be more relaxed and it'll be easier for you to sink into the play that you're doing because you won't be stressed out by what's going to happen. So that's why I love having my space already set up and ready to go. Before we move on to what products you can use and how to use them, I want you to think about getting your body ready. So while practicing getting the squirt going and doing the motion could be a part of your warming up, helping you relax, helping you be in your body, also getting your body primed and all those areas engorged, your erectile tissue, your clitoris is erectile tissue, getting that all ready. You want to warm up. You can warm up with an orgasm, with your favorite toy that you already knows works. Your partner can help you with this if this is an activity that you're doing together. If you're doing some solo play, have an orgasm first. One, it's relaxing. Two, it gets your body like revved up and started and it knows what's coming, because trying to go in without doing any of that warm up is just kind of like setting you back. You're gonna have to take a lot more time to get where you wanna go if you haven't already warmed yourself up. So having an orgasm and getting started that way will get you primed for the moment. And then you can use your fingers. So it's the same thing you would do with G-spot play. It's going to be a come hither motion, but you need to apply pressure, and it's going to be like more than just this. You need to like rock. You got to press. You have to apply pressure to that urethral sponge, that erectile tissue that's inside, the portal to your clitoris. It's a magical, soft space in your vaginal canal that helps you reach your internal clitoris. That's partly why you can have an orgasm that way. So you want to apply pressure. That might be hard. I have short arms. I'm a little Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's hard for me to do things with my hands for myself because my arms are short. So I like having toys. For this, I didn't bring out all the G-spot toys because I think for me there's a big difference between just stimulating your G-spot because you're trying to have a G-spot orgasm and working towards squirting. And so when you're working towards squirting, you want stuff that's really solid. This could also lead to G-spot orgasm, but it's not just going to be vibration. Some people just like that area stimulated without doing the full-blown like rocking, pressure, emotion in the ocean moment. So that you could totally get one, like this is the classic, this is the Gigi. This could be if you just like that area stimulated. Again, it may lead to some squirting for some folks. It may not. You might have to put in a little more work. But if you just like that kind of orgasm you get from stimulating that area, getting a vibrator that's shaped like this with a flat head. Some of the heads are round. I'll show you a different head on another toy. That would be great. But if we're working towards squirting, you're going to have to apply some pressure and some stimulation. So here's another item that can vibrate. This is the arc biting. You see the head's a little different. It has this little lip, and there's some like different sensations you can get, but it's solid. It's not flexy. It's got a little bit of bounce, just a little bit, but you're going to be able to apply that pressure without using so much energy like you would with your hand. And it's got that deep curve, so it makes it easier for you to do the come hither kind of rocking boat motion. And you don't have to press as hard because it's already a solid toy. And then we have our metal friends. So this is the Enjoy Pure Wand. And this one is the bird. Wait, it's right here. Is it too far away for me to read it? Maybe. I don't see you, friend. Which one is this? Oh, there it is. It's in cursive. It's from their Elements line. It's too far for me to read it. They both have a curve. This is more shaped like the arc, but it has that wide head. It's got a little texture in it. It depends on what you're looking for out of the feel of the toy. The Polly. It's very cute name. But this is the OG. This is what I call the vagina joystick, because you have two sides you can use, and it's got that deep curve. So you don't even have to do as much work because it's already curved. You're just kind of moving up. And again, it's stainless steel, so it makes it easier to apply that pressure. So if it was inside, you can do this and you can slide it in more and move it out. You can go deeper, you can stay shallow and move it. And I like this one because it's long, so if you have short arms, you have a little help to stimulate yourself. For a partner, why I call it a joystick is because a partner of mine was using it, and he's like, I feel like I'm playing a video game, because you're holding it, you're moving it, you're doing different things. I like metal toys because you're able to do temperature play. So right now it's kind of cool in the store. These are very cold and they feel nice. Some folks love that, but if you're not a fan, you can warm these up with hot water, so you can just run them under hot water. If you do like cold toys, you can put them in the refrigerator, not the freezer. Why? Because your mucous membranes are like your tongue. Putting your tongue on a pole in the wintertime, what would happen? It gets stuck. That can happen with your vagina as well. And you can give yourself freezer burn. So you want to be careful about putting things in the freezer and then putting it inside of you. Putting them in the fridge will cool them down enough where it'll be enjoyable and won't cause you any harm. So these are our products that we have. And then if you have other G-spot vibes or toys, you can use those. There are some that might just be too floppy for this kind of play. Like this is a nice one that will be great for the stimulation of the area, but it's very floppy and you're not going to be able to get the pressure you need. So you'd be able to get some sensation and that might feel lovely, but you're not going to be able to get the pressure you need and to work up to squirting. Now, why do you want to squirt? I don't know, people think it's fun. I think a lot of people associate squirting with the actual orgasm. They're not always connected. Some people squirt very easily. They can't turn it off. Like it's just part of their sex. It's just something that's going to happen every time they have sex. And there are people who have to work towards it, and there are folks who are already squirting and don't know they're squirting. Like I said, if you ever feel like a little bit of a gush, or it's just you see the big puddle when you get up, you squirted. It's not going to be, again, like I said at the beginning, it's not going to be the Bellagio. You're not going to get play music and make yourself squirt. But it's not gonna be this waterworks show that you think it's gonna be, because you know, porn is entertainment, not reality. So just keep those things in mind when you're playing. If you want to do this, do it because it seems fun, something you want to explore. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, okay. Did you have fun while you were doing it? Great. It doesn't need to happen. You also might find that you are experiencing pain. For some folks, stimulating the G-spot could be painful. Some folks don't feel anything when they're stimulating the area, and some folks find it very enjoyable. Doesn't mean you're broken, it's just how your body is made. So I would suggest, if you haven't explored that area, using your fingers first just to see how it feels before you put money into buying a product that might be, you know, cost a lot of money, and then you're like, oh, I actually don't really enjoy this. And play around with that. And then a point that I missed is the feeling that you are going to get when you're doing this. You might feel like you have to pee. That's because you are stimulating the muscle that's like near your urethra. So often when we feel like we have to pee, you don't really have to pee. It's that you're going to, the fluid, you're going to squirt and the fluid's going to come out. If in order to ease your mind before you have sex, using the bathroom, do that. That'll just get out of your head. You'll know, I've already peed. It's already done. We've done it. I know that's not happening again. And if it does, it's okay. That's also why I'm telling you to get a sex blanket, because they're made for other types of water sports. They're made to be used for people doing other things besides squirting. So if you make a mess, you can easily clean it up if you have chucks or if you have a sex blanket. And the answer to the question of is it pee, no, it comes from the urethra. So it's coming out of the same tube that your pee comes out of. Hence why when they test squirt liquid, it has urea in it. It's just like when people with penises ejaculate, nobody thinks they're peeing. There's an understanding that they're ejaculating. The same goes for people with vaginas. Remember, we all start out the same when we're inside our mommy's bellies. If anybody has questions, I'm happy to answer. I'll give y'all like a little minute if somebody wants to type anything up. While y'all are typing up and figuring out if you have questions, we'll do our housekeeping. So if you're watching right now, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. If you're watching in the future, thank you for joining us. And if it is before midnight on Sunday, you can use code April24 in all caps to get a discount at SHAG. What's our discount? It's 10%? 10% off the store. I'm gonna... My manager's like, tell them about the strap-on workshop. And she's like, strap-on. So you get a coupon. You can go online right now and purchase a product. April 24 is the code. It expires midnight Sunday. And so if you're watching this and it's before Sunday, look at you. You have a coupon to use. And I spoke about squirting before, and we are super lucky to have Lola Jean joining us for one of our Moxie, Shagged at the Moxie workshops. Lola Jean holds the current record for most volume squirting, the volume squirting record. Lola won't be doing a class about squirting, but Lola Jean will be talking about strap-ons. Buckle up and strap on, whether it's your first time strapping on or you're looking for techniques that will give you more pleasure. There's something for everyone to take away from this class. So that'll be at the Moxie. That is a paid workshop. You can sign up on our website for that one, and that one is on April 28th at 4 p.m. So yeah, if nobody has any questions, I'm gonna say have a lovely rest of your night. And as always, we're here. If after this workshop you have questions, you can always find me on Dirty Lola, at Dirty Lola on Instagram, and I'd be happy to answer anything you may have. Otherwise, have a great rest of your night. Bye, y'all. No, I don't want to do that.